Hello everybody! I have a clean and simple card today that we're going to do using the repetition technique with one of our brand new stamps. And I love this stamp. It's called Beautifully Baroque and it just has such amazing detail. Now I will do this stamp in multiple ways. Today I'm going to use one color. But look forward to some more cards with this stamp. This is going to be one of my favorites. And I will use multiple colors in some cases. So today I've just got this stamp. I've also got one of my favorite colors, which is Whisteria Wonder, one of our refreshed colors in the catalog, and I'm going to use this today to stamp this. Now I'm going to take a piece of masking tape and using the grid lines on my grid paper, I'm going to line it up so it's in the center and then just tape it down. And this is so that I don't stamp on the back. You can use whatever kind of mask that you might have, like large post-it notes work really well. Okay, so then I'm going to ink this up with Whisteria Wonder. Since my stamp is bigger than my ink pad, I'm going to bring the ink pad to the stamp and I'm just going to make sure I cover the stamp completely. On these big stamps, you want to pay attention that you have covered the center. Sometimes it's very easy to miss the center. And then I'm going to start very close to the top and I'm going to make my first stamp down. And I'm kind of getting it half of it onto the front of the card. So you can see that it's kind of starting halfway because I want to do this a lot. So I'm allowing myself to stamp it in a couple of different ways. So after I stamp that down, now I'm going to get my Stamp-A-Majig. You guys know how much I love my Stamp-A-Majig. And I've already put a very light image of this on here. I probably should have made it darker for you, but you can see it. It's very light. And I'm going to use that to decide where my second one's going to be. So I'm going to go all the way down, excuse me, to the lower right. And I'm going to ink up my stamp again. Making sure to cover the stamp completely with ink. Go straight down. I think I mentioned that you can do this multiple colors, but on this one I'm doing it just one color, which is Whisteria Wonder. And it's going to be a monocolor card. Here's my second image. Now, my Stamp-A-Majig is helping me. If you have clear stamps, this might be a little bit easier, but I actually prefer, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, to do this with the wood blocks and the Stamp-A-Majig. I think it's because I'm kind of old school. I'll decide where I want my next one to go. Just put it there. Okay. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. So you see it's very easy, and all I'm doing is just kind of scattering the image. And I'm going to tell you also how you can turn it upside down and move it completely. Let me do that the next time. So, stamping that corner one down. And then I'm actually going to pick up the whole thing and turn it upside down. The reason being that is when I turn it upside down, now I can keep using my Stamp-A-Majig in the same way, yet I can place the image differently. So, see what I mean? So I'm going to do this one there, and it's kind of upside down. And ink up my stamp. Now, even though I'm stamping it in the same way I was before, it's upside down the front of the card because I turned the card upside down. So it's just a way to alter your image when you're using the Stamp-A-Majig. And then finally, I'm going to do it one more time, just in that white space down there on the bottom. This is a great technique for when you're in the mood to stamp. You just want to stamp. You don't want to think, you don't want to cut, you just want to stamp. This is a great technique for that. So I'm just going to put this last little point down here. So sometimes you might notice that I'm inking up the whole stamp, even though the whole stamp's not going to fit on the card. But it's just because I don't want to have to worry about being too high or too low with my ink. So now I've got the whole card completely stamped up. I'm going to take off my mask. And you see how clean that edge is? Gives us a really professional look. Now the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take my 1 3/4 stamp. I'm going to go up to the top and kind of center it in the top. And I'm just using my eyes to center it. If you want to mark it with a ruler, if you're that kind of sensitive kind of a person, you can do that. But I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And then what you do is you have a window. And then I'm going to use black ink, but you definitely could use Whisteria Wonder. And again, I'm going to use my Stampin' Magic to help me position this right in the center of my hole, my window. And then I'm going to stamp it. And this is from Petite Pears. And this one, to someone who makes others so happy, is what it says. And so you've got a quick little easy window card. And I love these because you could make like 5, one of each different color. So you can get every color from like the subtle set, or you can just do our new in colors, right? And you end up with, you know, a whole gift set. If you want to alter it and use all the different colors, here's one with different colors being used. And you can also do it square. It kind of has even a neater look when it's square. I'll put those photos on there for you can see them later. Check out my blog also for photos. Happy stamping. Enjoy this stamp because I'm telling you I'm going to use it quite a bit. And what an easy window. Just punch, and then use your Stampin' Magic to get it in the center. And you've got a flat card that's really kind of cute.